It is 6:31 now. The jury has a lot to sort through in the trial over the death of Ahmaud Arbery and getting ready for another big day ahead in court. Within the past 24 hours, they have heard 911 calls, they've heard new testimony, but the headlines today are not about the evidence presented in the case. They are about who was watching.
Yesterday, the attorney for Roddie Bryan voiced some concerns about Reverend Al Sharpton and other people like him being in attendance. So to break it all down for you, we're going to bring in Karis Belger joining us in studio this morning.
So Karis, when the judge heard this argument, he seemed confused, and you could hear a pin drop in the courtroom at that time.
It was really quiet. When you look at the footage, it really was. No one was speaking. And specifically, Al Sharpton, he's not just a pastor. He's a really prominent voice in the Black community. He's been in Glenn County for some time, but Kevin Gough, the attorney for Roddie Bryan, had a problem with him being in the courtroom, essentially argued Sharpton had no reason to be there. Attorney Gough told the judge he was not aware Sharpton was in the courtroom until after his cross-examination, and his problem was that Sharpton's potential influence, also the presence of other prominent Black voices, would have a sway on the jury.
The idea that we're going to be serially bringing these people in to sit with the victim's family one after another, obviously there's only so many pastors they can have. And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine, but then that's it. We don't want any more Black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, trying to influence a jury in this case.
Now, Gough also brought up concerns that someone might be in the courtroom from political reasons. He said we need to keep politics out of this case, but the judge did not agree. This is what he had to say to Gough's argument.
Well, I will tell you that I noticed him once and that was it. And the fact that nobody else even noticed that he was in here means that everybody complied with this court's rulings on sitting in this courtroom and listening to the evidence.
Now, the judge also said he was made aware Sharpton was going to sit in the courtroom and take one of the spots reserved for a family member. And since Sharpton is a member of the public and it's a public courtroom, he was not going to put limits on who could come in as long as they followed the court's rules.
Harris, it was interesting that the attorney for the Arbery's mentioned that this attorney Gough, who was at the center of this, was also one who made some controversial remarks and moves concerning the racial makeup of the jury.
Right. Well, I should point out there's only one Black juror in the jury for this case, but Gough previously said he wanted more people involved who were white and of a lower educational background, people who would be more in line with the background of his client. That was his concern.
All right. There is so much to sort through in this case.
Karis, thank you so much. We're going to have much more on what happened in the courtroom Thursday over on our website, including testimony from the owner of the unfinished home that's really at the center of this case.